morning, MarketChameleon.com. I'm Adam. That's Will. Say hi, Will.
Hi, Will.
What's up, dude? I'm still in Miami. Last day. I'll be in Costa tomorrow. Back with the normal show without any of this background noise. Trains. Did you know Miami had a train, brother?
I did, yes. Runs all the way from Orlando.
Apparently, it goes right past my hotel here, which is amazing. But anyway, we'll make it work, man. Hey, everybody, remember, if you are trading options, option trading is risky, is dangerous. There's the disclaimer. Me using Google Hangouts, not so great, but yes. Oh, brother, it is good, man. It is good to be in Miami, and but good to be really, really good to be leaving, man.
Where did you travel with your Chameleon Cup?
No.
No,
dude, we're not that high tech, dude. I can't even travel with the right computer.
True, that's true.
I told you, man. I spent the day before I left. I spent literally almost 4 hours, properly building out a brand new gaming computer to stream the Chameleon live in the morning. I mean, the thing's got like super processing power, super graphic chips, super ready to go. Get it done. Special software uploaded, all set to go. We arrive in Miami. I'm like, baby, where's the computer? She's like, right there. I'm like, that's not the computer. She's like, yeah, that's the computer. So I'm working on a junk computer right now.
Awesome.
So, not the wrong computer, man. It's all my fault, dude. So what do we got today, man? Bring up your screen.
Well, the good thing about junk computers, you can still bring up a beautiful Chameleon.
Yeah. The Chameleon runs light, brother. It runs light.
So I was looking at the Chameleon this morning. A couple things popped up that I'm going to talk about. We'll get to this later. But the first thing was this LXRX big move after some heavy call activity. I just wanted to see if El Chameleano reported the news yesterday. So I was going to go look at posts. You see how I got there?
Yep.
And
so basically, anybody following at home, you just go to the stock, and then on the left-hand side, click on posts, third from the bottom.
Sure enough, you were given that opportunity. 340. You know, if you set up a watch list, I think you can even get an email. But there was a significant amount of call activity right there. So Chameleon always reporting good stuff. Next thing I wanted to talk to you about.
Wait, what's happening at LXRX? What's happening?
Oh, that's too
deep. A lot of people bearish on LXRX.
No, bullish.
Oh, bullish. Sorry.
Call volume. Stock was up after hours. 9%.
Oh, and it's a pharmaceutical, man. Love those.
Could have been anything.
Happy day.
A lot of people like playing the options in the pharmas.
Oh, that's
it's a real place for people who have some information that the general public, you and I, don't have. So it's a place that quite a lot of people tend to piggyback that high call and high put activity. Nice. The next thing I wanted to discuss was we'll bring up a Stadia. Do you know
Stadia?
Google unveils Stadia cloud gaming platform.
Stadia. Hey, man. Did you watch that presentation? I
did not.
I did. And I tell you what, I went out and bought a bunch of URLs around it because I am very bullish on Stadia.
Look at you. You didn't give the Chameleons that look first and foremost.
Dude, you can't give away all the secrets, man.
What
you give away all the secrets?
What URLs are you grabbing?
Dude, if you follow me on Twitter, you absolutely knew this thing was going down, dude. I tweeted about it multiple times leading up to the actual presentations yesterday, man. Multiple times, dude.
So what do you
have?
Friends of Stadia.com, Stadia.com. I mean,
Let's just say if you want Stadia ninjas, you got to come to me.
Oh my God. That is $30 down the drain here. I mean, we should look at that stock. What is that stock? GoDaddy. GoDaddy.com.
Yeah.
Good. Look, it's up 1.5% on all the crazies buying the URLs.
URLs, baby. URL, dude. URL business. I did a podcast about that. That was one of the best businesses I ever did. Was domain parking. Believe it or not. As far as not the best businesses, but just the easiest ROI. Domain parking can be very, very nice. Believe it or not.
Well,
what do you think about that, bro?
That's super interesting. I didn't know you were flipping domains down there.
Sometimes, only when I see opportunities. Like if my brain just starts lighting up, I go buy them.
And who are you selling them to?
Who knows, man? We'll see.
Wait, no, you said you had a return on investment. I'm asking.
I did, dude. You know about the sloth Kong, man? You know about sloths?
Yeah, was that the URL or was that your promotion of
it was the URL, it was it was not only the URL, you're right. It was the social media stuff as well. I also parked on the social media handles as well.
Yeah, so both. You actually do both. You did work on that.
I did some work. Some work. But for for 50 hours of work, I had nice ROI, dude.
I got you. It's not like you're advising.
It's not without risk. Dude.
It's not like you're advising a person to buy a URL, buy a web address, and just put it in a parking garage, and then open it up in 5 years, and all of a sudden it's
not unless you were like magically found one that was amazing. But no, those are almost
those are gone. I mean that's what I was. That was my point. Was if it worked parking them in the late 90s. When there probably wasn't even a process, you had to go to apply for the URL with the government.
No, what I'm saying is, okay, to clarify, brother. All right, so if you see something coming out that has a new name, especially when it's a newfangled name like Stadia, which is actually it's funny enough, it's a real word, but so Google obviously has the .com, Stadia.com, but if you see something coming out like Joe's Coffee has a new coffee cup, and they have the URL Joe's Coffee, you can get stuff around that. And if you are a first mover, like you recognize, like I wasn't. Trust me, I'm not the only one. There were other ones. The premium ones were already taken. Somebody obviously probably in Google who knew that they were coming out with Stadia jumped on those things 6 months ago. Right, but there are other ones, kind of the secondary ones, still there. They were still there yesterday when this all went down.
And more importantly, you have a gaming interest. I mean, there are things you may be able to do.
Exactly.
But that again, that's not a parking. I just wanted to clarify.
No, it's not like you just buy it.
It's not like buying a stock and holding the stock.
Definitely.
And the company that's a running entity keeps running itself. It's something that, for that to gain any value, you have to develop something around it.
You probably, exactly. Yes.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you.
Well, who knows if Google can pull this off, right? Who knows? So everybody doesn't know. What they're doing is they're doing an online gaming platform. So the idea is to do away with the box, do away with the box sitting in your living room. And you're going to be able to play through a Chrome browser on any device. And they think they've got it figured out with the Google infrastructure to be able to deliver that kind of processing power to the home. Like technology is caught up enough where they're going to be able to deliver this experience directly to your home without a box.
And I'm 100% sure, 100% that they're going to do it.
Really?
So
you're 100% sure.
I went and looked at the credit put screeners, and
let's see it.
And there are a lot of opportunities to get bullish Google right now.
All right. Well, what does that tell you though? That tells you
that tells me you should probably take the other side and be bearish. Is what it tells me.
Yeah, it's probably true. Honestly, I mean, whether or not they can pull this off, this is a big if. A big if. Like Google's failed at stuff, guys. Remember, Google's failed at a lot of things.
Wait, those glasses are collector's items now. Dude, all you had to do was buy one of the Google glasses.
I mean, that alone, just to give, right? That's the heads up, man. Like that thing, there's no reason why we all shouldn't be wearing glasses right now with our internet on the glasses, right? They killed that market for probably 20 years, right? They killed it with bad execution. So I'm not saying streaming. I'm not saying streaming to my home isn't going to happen. I do believe it will happen, but whether or not Google is the one to pull it off, or whether or not Google turns it off for everybody for another 20 years, that's very possible. It's very possible.
Wow, you just threw some water on my bullish thesis. Oh man. Anyways, the one thing I went to pull my gaming watch list, but because this is options report, I haven't built one watch list. So I was going to create a new gaming watch list. Do we have you have a good name for it?
Why didn't you just import it, man? Oh my God, my brother, dude. Get your tech right, man.
No, I wanted to show everyone how to use it.
All right.
Do you want to walk us through a demo of that?
So, what? Oh, pulling it off your. Well, nobody would want to do it. Nobody needs to do it because they're not moving from one account to another account. But you can just add it in like you would on.
Let me ask you: Would you if anyone out there wants to import a list, will you walk them through it? Adam at MarketChameleon.com. So what do we have? Google
man. It's literally copy and paste. If you have a list in an Excel or a Word file, you just copy paste it in. You can either do it by commas, space, or a new line. So even if you have it on like a list on a Word document, as long as each one's on a new line, you just copy paste it in.
Are any of these other ones, Electronic Arts is worth putting in there? Who else?
Yeah, I mean, Microsoft.
EA, Microsoft. Any others?
You got Take-Two.
Is Zynga even a company anymore? I forget.
Zynga. What game? Oh, Farmville. When was the last time you played Farmville, brother?
Loved Farmville back in 2012.
Well, I mean, this is one of the ideas of the Google Play is that developers should be able to launch games in a much easier manner because everything's going to be virtual, right? Currently, and I can attest to this, you have Xbox at home and you want to play the new version of Fortnite. Get ready. If you don't have a massive internet pipeline, that thing's going to take hours to download because it's 18, 20 gigabytes of data. So the idea that that's done away with this Google infrastructure and Google just having it all on their own cloud, and you're just streaming the actual game itself. Hey, nobody's in a better position. The only one maybe in a better position to pull it off is Amazon, and I don't. Amazon, I am not.
Wait,
I am not bullish on Amazon being able to pull that off because Amazon has a lot of failures in this sort of area.
So I shouldn't put Amazon in there yet.
No. I can't imagine Bezos would try to get into this space, man. If he tries, wow. I mean, you ever try the Amazon phone?
Bezos' street cred is kind of worn off with his. A man who knows so much of technology, he's using his cell phone to take creepy pictures of himself and send them to his mistress.
Dude, let's be clear.
Are we gonna trust that man sending a rocket to the moon? I don't know.
Yes.
Well,
but doing a gaming rig, I don't know, man. I'd say no.
So anyways, I wanted to jump to Boeing is in the news. We're gonna hit a couple stocks that have heavy interest in flying. First is Boeing. We've talked about this to nauseum. It's had some real bad news this morning. Again, I think I last heard over my shoulder that maybe it's up now. It seems like the barrage of bad news in the news cycle is probably going to start moving on the stock away from it. Yeah. So, it has had a real big sell-off. So I'm, again, looking at some bullish spreads. This way, at least, if something horrible does happen, your downside. You also have cushion to the downside, and there's some nice returns in here. So, again, theoretical edges there, win rates are there, the cushion to the downside. So everything you look for in putting on a spread, and, it's all back-tested there for you. And
by the way, I'm looking at your AMD up there. Did you were looking at AMD around this Google Play?
Oh yes, that's why I was doing it. That, and for anyone who hasn't been to the website, Dimitri did a great video on some AMD action yesterday.
Yep.
So it was a couple reasons it's up there, but that's one of them.
Yeah, just so everybody here knows, Google partnered with AMD around this Stadia gaming experience. I guess AMD is going to provide the main processor for this game, and I don't know how that even works. You know, if they're going to throw these out in all the data centers, who knows, man? I don't know how this all works, but AMD is involved, so it had a nice bump yesterday, I guess.
Yeah, and it's, you know, it had a monster sell-off, and I mean, we talked about these chip stocks 4 months ago when they were in the, you know, in the midst of their sell-offs, and they're almost all the way back. Yeah, it's a real nice little buying opportunity.
It's funny though. Look at AMD's PE. You know, you compare that to some of the other stocks in the space PE, it is outsized. 72 PE is kind of crazy.
Or you can look at the people in the space. Let's just go to Texas Instrument right there. PE 23.
What was the other one? Micron. Where Micron had a what was it, a 3 or a 3 point something PE. Obviously, there's massive differences in the stock. Yeah, it's still super low, 3.29. There must be. I mean, have you dove into Micron at all? There must be major problems with that company.
Yep, those PEs can be. Well, I mean, the whole you know, this is when the whole chip sector fell out of bed. Remember that?
Yeah.
You know, it was a long slide. It's been battling back. You know, it depends the chips they make and the industries they're associated with. AMD, yep. You know, you look at NVIDIA, right? I don't know how we got on the chip tangent. How did we get on the chip tangent? NVIDIA, I mean, this is going to be this was like the height of, do you remember?
Yeah.
That product that was once talked about, now never to be mentioned, Bitcoin.
Did you see the, I don't know if it was the SIBO, took away the futures on Bitcoin?
Yeah, it was. Yep, it was a one of two exchanges that, you know, rushed to market a Bitcoin product, and yeah. I guess the CME still is alive, but the volume is so
off a cliff. Yeah.
Off a cliff, doesn't even exist. They can't even get people, you know, interested in making markets or trading the product. That it's that's pretty bad.
That's bad if you're long Bitcoin.
It doesn't seem good, that's for sure. One of the hedging mechanisms take away. And you know, this is the stock we've talked about that's the big pure play in that space. And sadly, I think they even hold Bitcoins as well. He was an early investor somehow. It wasn't he was an investor. He through Overstock.com, he was one of the first acceptors of Bitcoin. So I think he has a stash of coins with people who bought, which could be a good, listen, who knows? I mean, Bitcoin if Bitcoin goes to 100, are you buying any? What's your buy-in on the Bitcoin?
No, honestly, I don't know. I don't think at all.
Probably if it goes to 100, you're like, that's a waste of $100, right?
Yeah, I just, at this point, knowing what we know, which is that the coins you can build a coin today or tomorrow and if there's going to be a winner, it's probably going to be Bitcoin, right? Because everybody knows, because of the name brand.
All right, let me guess. You believe in the technology, but not the coin. No. I love when people say that. Well, if you believe if you believe in the tech,
never go full Bitcoin, man. Never go full Bitcoin.
We're not giving away chameleon cups for anyone who guesses that. Yeah, if you want a pure play though in the space of blockchain and trying to develop businesses around it, this Overstock may be the play, and sadly Overstock may go to zero because this is the play.
Absolutely.
It's a real interesting something that was so hot is now.
Look, there's stuff.
Ice.
What did we just say about Google and Google Glass? If you are too early, you know, you're done, dude. It doesn't work, man.
Well,
sometimes too early to the market is death.
Fortunately, Google has a war chest because it has a core product that, you know, just returns capital at unbelievable rates, so they can take these risks. Overstock.com, not so much.
Yeah.
So just head on a swivel. Again, how we went from core processors produced by AMD to Overstock, I have no idea how we got off track. But the other company, heavy use of planes, wanted to talk about FedEx. Earnings after the close. Some people saying it may be a canary in the coal mine relative to the market. Others saying that it could just be China and Brexit fears. So you can take either side of it. One thing I wanted to show, with the premium, they had, and sadly I didn't talk about it yesterday, but the stock price patterns around earnings. So if you see the last 9 of 11 earnings, there was a drift lower. Earnings drift open to close, in earnings after the move, 5.5%, 5 in a row.
Yeah.
So gave you a little heads up if you had a
FedEx. Awesome or what, man?
And if you do feel like FedEx is going to continue lower, and it is a bellwether for where the market may be heading, there are a bunch of spreads that I take a quick snapshot of it that I just exposed to you that are showing up with the theoretical edge, high win rates, cushions, and some reasonably nice returns.
How did UPS do yesterday?
How did UPS do? Let's take a look. It's definitely had some negative pool because of it. So there you go. Actually, a stock that I was talking about yesterday that I sent out a tweet about. A gentleman on CNBC, when they were debating FedEx, talked about, actually they were debating Boeing, and he was talking about Greenbrier, and I was thinking about it this morning because it as well has a PE that's like, well, why, 7% PE, a reasonably high dividend yield, stocks, well off its highs. Looks like it's something, a value investor should be looking at it. But if you look at they basically produce transportation equipment for the railroad industry, freight cars. So it's interesting if FedEx is the canary in the coal mine and the market is really slowing down, people aren't shipping as much. Obviously the rails could be affected. Greenbrier could be affected. I mean, if you look at similar stocks, there are a bunch of rails in here, CSX being the biggest one. But CSX is close to its high, right?
Sure.
So it certainly, its shareholders aren't saying, oh, Jesus, this stuff's going to stop being shipped by rail. Let's get out of CSX. And it's also got a low PE. So, I mean, maybe that Greenbrier is worth a look. I didn't do an option screen, but, take a look at that Greenbrier. But I did I guess I didn't do but
what's sexier, man? Google or a rail line? You know what I mean?
I like rails. But if you are, the last thing I did a screen, because if FedEx is the canary and the market is slowing down, and what's going on in China and Europe is going to spread to the US, which, anything's possible. I screened the entire market for bearish credit spreads I could do. So I dropped down any positive theoretical edge, win rates above 80%, cushion to break even at least 1%. And I got a large number, and then I searched by market cap to get some big ones. And so there's some opportunities in Apple, Procter & Gamble, Wells Fargo, AT&T, Pfizer, Union Pacific, which I think is another rail. A lot of opportunities there. 26 pages of opportunities, 648 entries. And I mean, this is done in a couple seconds, this back test. So if you are bearish, you can do quick screens and find some opportunities, obviously, with all the things we look for: theoretical edge, win rates, cushion if the market moves against us and goes higher, percent return. So you can do this against your whole portfolio. You know, you pick these big stocks, and we'll end there.
Nice.
That's it.
Remember, everybody, if you're on YouTube, click the subscribe button, tick that bell. You can catch us live every morning here. Tomorrow, going to be back in Costa. Going to be great. Real computer. Awesome. Can't wait for that. If you're on Market Chameleon, on the left-hand side, click the subscribe button. You can try it free, the premium service free for 7 days. See how this stuff fits into your trading model. You're going to be great. And remember, hey, if anybody's not, look at the chameleon. Go ahead. You got to say something, brother. Remember, we're on.
I was going to say.
Go ahead, man. Show it up.
I was going to say, and you email Adam. You sign up for that free service. You email Adam at adam@MarketChameleon.com. He'll be sure within 7 months you get a chameleon cup. he swears he'll get that chameleon cup.
Let's just say this. Will is not exactly FedEx king, man. Will doesn't really know how to use mail.
You go down to the postal service with a box, and somehow it ends up in the sea. They're finding our cups floating on islands in the Pacific that were meant for Madagascar. I have no idea what's going on.
Has the one got to our friend in Madagascar yet?
I have no idea.
Oh, come on, man. You got to get it done, brother. You got to get it done. Oh, hey, one thing you guys should do, if you don't use Twitter for anything, and I know a lot of people don't use Twitter, they have no idea what it is.
Who in God's name would use Twitter?
One of the best things, I'm recently new to Twitter, and if one of the best things about Twitter is if you're following the market and trading stocks and options, Twitter is a wonderful resource to receive alerts. So if you go on Twitter, get yourself a Twitter account, and search for Market Chameleon. You'll find we have a couple of business accounts for Market Chameleon that tweet out stuff all day long. So what we're talking about, the auto-generated stuff, where it sees something happening, it spits it out, sends it to Twitter. It's a fantastic tool because it doesn't fill up your inbox. You don't have to worry where you get it. You just open your Twitter account, and boom, there it is. And there you can also find Will and myself on Twitter, and we're putting out content all day long. So it's a great resource. Just for if you're trading stocks and options, in my opinion.
Can I clarify something? The information isn't generated by an auto. It's generated by a chameleon. So be aware that we don't have an auto creating our data. It's created by a chameleon. The king chameleon.
Is he up at 2 in the morning? That little chameleon, he's running it.
No, he never sleeps. And we don't just have one. We have lots of chameleons.
We're the largest. All right, just to be clear, we're the largest percher of chameleons on the East Coast of the United States. Is that correct, Will?
They power the system.
Who knew? Who knew, man? Who knew?
Well, everyone who follows this show knows.
All right, brother. Have a great day. We'll see you all tomorrow morning.
Thanks,
probably back to normal. Is it going to be normal time tomorrow? 7:30 tomorrow, brother?
Sure. That works for me.
All right. Take care, everyone. Safe trading out there, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Have a great day.